Hello everyone. So this is fifth lecture of Unit 2. In this lecture, I'll discuss about single phase dual converter drive and some basics about three phase controlled rectifier for DC motor drive. Okay. So first, I'll take single phase dual converter drive. So in the previous lecture, I discussed about single phase full wave controlled rectifier for DC motor drives, where I used one bridge which is fading to DC motor circuit. Okay. So this bridge one actually it will produce a positive current, but it is RLE load, so it will produce positive and negative voltage. Okay. So until unless the thyristor will carry the current, the conduction will not stop. Okay. That's why we are getting some negative voltage across the armature circuit. Okay. So that means the drive can be operated in first quadrant and fourth quadrant. You can see from this I V plane. So I is positive here and V positive and V negative. That means from bridge 1 we can operate this drive either in this quadrant 1 or in quadrant 4. Okay. So to operate it in second and third quadrant, we are again connecting one inverse parallel bridge. So bridge 2 actually in inverse parallel to bridge 1. So it will produce negative current. Again it can produce positive or negative voltage. So that means drive can be operated in second or third quadrant. So this is actually four quadrant drives. Okay, where bridge 1 is making the drive to be operated in first and fourth quadrant, whereas the bridge 2 make it to be operated in second and third quadrant. Okay. So if you are considering the continuous conduction mode, so V1 voltage, that is the voltage produced from the bridge 1, this circuit. So 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha, as we have seen in the previous class. Okay. So this is the characteristic, and second line is minus 2 Vm upon cos alpha, because it is producing negative voltage if we are considering. Okay. So here you can see the drive is converter 1 is actually operated. So for example, if it is operating at this point, so this is load torque, this is uh, motor characteristic from the first quadrant. Okay. So it is operated at this point. Now if you want to make its second quadrant operation, so what we'll do, we have to operate second bridge. Okay. So that means if we come here, so current is negative, voltage is positive, so it is generating mode. Okay. So forward generation mode. If you want motoring at reversal, so what we'll do, we have to shift characteristic on this point. Okay. So here current is negative, voltage is negative, that means bridge 2 should produce negative current and negative voltage. Okay. So second bridge output actually minus 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha. Okay. So bridge 1 V1 is equal to 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha 1, if we can say here, and this is equal to back EMF plus drop in armature circuit. Okay. Similarly, bridge 2 operating, we are having minus 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha 2. Okay. And the current is negative, so back EMF minus armature drop. Okay. So Vt0 to Vm upon pi we have taken. So if we solve one problem, there is a DC separately excited motor which is rated at 10 kilowatt. One more thing that is important, that this single phase dual converter bridge is operated up to 15 kilowatt. If more than that rating is required, we will move to the three phase control rectifier. Okay, that we will see in the next lecture. So there is a DC separately excited motor which is rated at 10 kilowatt, 200 volt, is to be controlled by dual converter. The armature circuit resistance is given 0.2 ohm and the machine constant is given as 0.35 volt per rpm. For the following condition, determine the firing angles of the converter, the back EMF and machine speed given that for the converter system 2 Vm upon pi is given, that is 250 volt. We have to neglect any losses in the converter circuit. Okay, if the machine operates in forward motoring mode at rated current and with terminal voltage of 200 volt, that means bridge 1 is operated. Forward motoring means voltage and current both positive. Okay, so we have to calculate the firing angle. So this is the, so V is equal to 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha, because it is operated by the first converter. Okay, so armature voltage is given 200 volt, it is given here. Okay, so 200 volt, 2 Vm upon pi is given 250 cos alpha. Cos alpha we can find, that is 0.8. So firing angle we found 36.8 degree. Again, if you want to calculate what is the speed, so we have to first calculate what is back EMF. Back EMF is nothing but k times phi into n. Okay, so you can see from here V is equal to E plus IARA. So 200 is equal to whatever these things are given. So we can find what is with the armature rated current. Okay, so power rating is given, that is 10 kilowatt, and our rated voltage is given 200 volt. So divide 10,000 divided by 200 volt, that will give the rated armature current. Okay, so that is 50 ampere. Now substitute here, we can find what will be the back EMF. Once back EMF is found, we can use back EMF formula in terms of RPM. Oh, okay, so that is KE phi n. So this term is given 0.35. Here we can computed as 190. So substitute that, we will get 542.85 RPM. Okay, so if you see that diagram, so actually it is working here 542 point whatever parameter you got. So it is working like that. So that means bridge 1 is operated. Okay, so this bridge 1 is operated and the machine is working. Okay, we are not operating bridge 2. Okay, so that means we are having first quadrant operation where it is forward motoring operation. Now machine operates at forward generation mode. Okay, at rated current and with terminal voltage of 200 volt. So you can see here forward generation mode means you have to make current negative. Okay, so that means it is operated somewhere here. So you have to compute what will be the speed at that point of time. Okay. So again V is equal to minus Vt0 cos alpha, if you remember that expression. So V2 you can see here. So V2 is equal to minus Vt0 cos alpha. So we will use that. So we can find again what is alpha. So this is the cos inverse minus 0.8, so 143.13. So you can see that bridge 2 always operates at more than 90 degree. Okay, so we have found that it is 143.13 degree. So again we can use back EMF formula. So here you can see V was A plus IARA, but here it is, because this current is negative. Okay, so we are taking EA is equal to V plus IARA. Okay, that means V is equal to EA minus IARA. Okay, because IA is negative in that case. So we can find what will be the back EMF. So back EMF we have computed 210 volt. Okay, because 50 ampere armature current is given and armature resistance was given to be 0.2. Substitute here, we can again use this formula to find what will be the speed. So you can see here it is 600 rpm. Now I'll discuss about 3-phase DC drive. So first I am taking 3-phase converters. So I am not using full wave, but I am using half wave converter. Okay, 3-phase half wave control rectifier for DC motor drive. So for more than 15 kilowatt we are using this circuit, 3-phase circuit. So 3-phase converters would be half wave, full wave, fully controlled, full wave, half controlled, like that, and dual converter when we want to operate it in 4 quadrant operation. Okay, so here first I am taking 3 phase half wave controlled rectifier fed DC motor drive. So supply we are having delta connected, then secondary side thyristor we are having this thyristors are connected like this, and one neutral actually we are connecting to the negative of this. Okay, and positive is connected to this. So whatever voltage, whichever thyristor will have higher voltage, that thyristor will be triggered. Okay, at alpha, and each thyristor will conduct for 120 degree. So if I show the waveforms, so VAN, VBN, VCN, three phase supply voltage is applied. So here VAN, at this point VAN become more than any of the voltage. Okay, so thyristor 1 can be triggered at any point after P. So for example, we triggered at this point. So whatever this voltage, that will appear here, and it will not stop here because this is RLE load. So negative voltage will appear. Then VBN, second thyristor is turned on here. Then it will go up to here. Then third thyristor will turn on. So each thyristor actually will conduct for 120 degree, and it will be not in operation for 240 degree. Okay, so this first thyristor, so this is 30 degree, that is pi by 6. At pi by 6 plus alpha, so this delay actually we are calling as alpha. So pi by 6 plus alpha, that means 30 degree plus alpha, and it will conduct up to 30 plus alpha plus 120. So 120 degree will be the conduction time for thyristor 1. Okay, and output current we are taking as DC. So we are taking it as constant. And what will be the current through thyristor 1? So it will be from pi by 6 plus alpha to up to this time. Okay, 5 pi by 6 plus alpha. So we can consider VAN to be Vm sin omega t. VAB we can find, we can take as Vm sin omega t minus 120. VAN, VBN, VCN we can take here. So assuming continuous current direction, the average output voltage is, so period is 120 degree. You can see the waveform is repeated after 120. So it is coming from this to this, then again after 120 it will repeat. So period is 120. We can this VAN we can integrate from 30 plus alpha to 30 plus alpha to alpha plus 120. So we have taken period to be 2 pi by 3. So 1 upon 2 pi by 3, 30 plus alpha, 30 plus alpha plus 120 Vm sin omega t we can integrate. So after integration you will find that it is 3 root 3 Vm upon 2 pi cos alpha. So where Vm is the peak of supply line neutral voltage. Okay, so this is important. So we are taking on the stator side. We are taking on the secondary side. Okay, which is star connection. So again this is 2 quadrant operation. We can have negative voltage or positive voltage, but the current direction will be positive. So first quadrant and 4 quadrant operation is possible with the help of this configuration. So there is again another problem which says there is a 100 horsepower 1750 rpm DC shunt motor which is having armature inductance of this, resistance is given, and armature voltage constant is given to be this. The motor is operated from a 3-phase half wave control rectifier at rated armature current of 35 ampere. You have to find the firing angle alpha, assuming that the supply voltage is 400, that is delta side. Okay, and the motor speed is 1750 rpm. So first we have to convert speed into radian per second, and armature voltage constant is given 1.3 voltage second per radian. So we have to that's why we converted this speed into radian per second. So bike EMF is nothing but k 5 omega. So K phi is given 1.3, omega is given by KMF we computed here. Now we have to find what will be the VM, so that we can find what will be the average armature voltage. So VM you can see, so 400 volt actually that is RMS value that is given on the delta side. If you want to compute in on the star side, you can see here. So this delta side actually 400 volt is given. So if you want to compute on the star side, you have to divide by root 3. Okay. So RMS value on the star side will be 400 upon root 3. But if you want to compute the peak value, you have to multiply by square root 2. Okay. So we have to multiply square root 2, 400 upon square root 3. So that is 326.2 volt. Okay. Now substitute Vm here, 2 pi cos alpha we have to find. So everything is known except cos alpha. Substitute these values here. Now whatever armature voltage applied will be equal to back EMF plus drop in armature circuit. If thyristor drop is given, you have to consider that also. Okay. If it is not given, you have to neglect this one. But in this problem it is given. So we that is given 1.5 volt. We have to consider that also. Okay. So this is 270.08 cos alpha. We have to substitute here. Then this is uh, just EA back EMF. Whatever you have computed, you have to substitute here. Okay. Then you are getting something like this. So from this expression, you can find what will be the firing angle. So in next class, I will discuss full bridge, full wave, three-phase control rectifier for DC motor drive. Then dual bridge, three-phase dual bridge control rectifier for DC drive. Okay.